Bill out this bitch, bro.
I'm doing this to save you, bro.
He's over there flicking the needle.
I'm gonna get you vaccinated, bro. What you doing out here?
Microphone check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Can y'all hear me? Let me know if y'all can hear me. What's up, Rise? See your phone. What's going on? Y'all hear me good? Y'all hear me good? Y'all hear me loud and clear? Loud and clear. Serial killer, what up? Just what up? Should I get a drink? I literally just came from my boy's wedding, and I've been drinking all day, and I'm thinking about getting a drink. Should I get a drink? I'm gonna let you guys decide. If you guys feel I should get a drink, I might get a drink. Hell yeah. Can I get a hell yeah? My man said water. Oh, wow. That's high quality H2O. Just, I got all type. I've been drinking all day, bro. I want to sip on some. I don't want a shot. Let me go see what I got in the cab. Oh, you know what? I might have some Long Island Iced Tea. Hold on. Okay. Okay. Raj, you got me. Got me a little Long Island iced tea. That's what we gonna sip on for this stream. Grab some Henny and Sprite. I mean, it's too late. I actually prefer Long Island. My favorite drink is Johnny Walker Blue. Yo ho ho, what's up, Juan? Never drunk, bro. Never been drunk a day in my life. God is my witness. He said I went to Applebee's real quick. Oh. Yo, Juan, I'm about to go through some matchups, bro. But I'm gonna be honest, Juan. Unfortunately, I don't have your team up here because I feel with your team everything is pretty much the same. You hit, you destroy. That's the matchup. You already, what's going on? What's going on, everybody in here? Thanks for tuning in. MSPONs, what's going on? Little Buddha, I see you guys here. Oh, you're not left out, Juan. It's just that you're in that special category. That's all. But I toast this one up to you, my NWO brethren. Oh, that's good. That is good. He says, he said, yes, specially left out. Oh gosh. Especially left out. No woe was you. No woe was you. I gotta sip slow. I've been drinking rum punch all day. It was a West Indian wedding. Guys, having a ball. Okay, let me just turn my other monitor. All y'all teams then. Listen, Juan. I can easily add your team here. But number one, I never played your team. Number two, I never played your team. Number three, I never played your team. And you're the only one that plays your team. So I can only see your team being played one way. All right. So let me give you guys a quick, maybe not so quick introduction. All right. So what I'm doing here today, I am basically breaking down my opinion of team matchups, team versus team. And what I did was, I'm going to show you guys in a second. I inputted the numbers, right? So with the disclaimer, let me say this. My word is not law, God, end all be all. It is strictly my opinion based on several factors. Based on my outlook of the game in terms of theory, based on my personal experiences of using, based on the eye tests, and based on playing with three of the greatest players in this game, which includes Justin, Sanford, and Yipes, for a very long time, and having them using multiple teams at a high level. And also from watching other people play and my personal experiences playing them. So it's not just based off of how Justin, Sanford, and Yipes played teams. No, but they have influenced my theory about the game because they tend to push the game to the limits. So I get to see a lot of what characters are capable of with different play styles, you know, and you know, also from other players all over the world. You know what I mean? So this is what I base all my opinions off of, a collection of things like that. Not just me using a team, you know, because if you just base it off you using a team, you're only looking through one lens. And it's good when you have a pool of players that play the same team, because you get to see different styles and you get to see different perspectives and different ways people use teams and things like that. Because the way you use a team can be extremely effective against, you know, certain styles of play, but then someone else can be playing a team in a fashion where, you know, it'll be effective against a different style of play. You know, you can look at MSP. MSP can be played super aggressive, you know, heavy on the rush down. Riken, welcome. And MSP can be played extremely conservative also, and very defensive, you know what I mean? So there's more than one way to skin a cat. So I'm just going to let you guys in on my opinion and my views and my theories. Everything is not time tested yet. You know, I still have some numbers up here that I feel can be possible, and I'll go into that as I come across. And then there's some things that, you know, I have an idea about based on visual, but I'm not going to be too sure. That is what an opinion is, Juan, but you still have to put that out because, you know, I don't want it to seem like what I'm saying is what it is, you know? Once again, it's just my opinion. Team Duck is in this. So the team now, and the teams I've chosen were the teams that I see enough and played against enough and use enough for me to be able to formulate an opinion on. There might be some other teams on here that I don't feel are used as often, so I might have to have more information on them, you know what I mean? And I did separate some teams by certain assists and things like that, because, you know, the assist that you use makes a world of a difference, because MSP is not MSP and Psylocke is using Psy Blast assist, right? So, you know what I mean, that's what really matters. All right, so with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at the teams. One sec, guys. Let me just move you guys over there. Look to the stars. Our ancestors did. All right, so guys, can you guys see the screen fairly well? Let me know. Mad Drew, what's going on? Oh yeah. This, I'm not even gonna lie, to plot all this shit took about 3 hours. They used to do matchup charts back in the day, believe it or not, when people actually looked into detail in certain matchups. What's up, Dave? Okay. All right, guys. So the teams I have Thrax, Storm first, Thrax Sent first. MSC, that's Mag, Storm, Cyclops. Team Row Mag first, Team Row Sent first. With Team Row in this case, I'm using the Rocket Punch, not drones. I have MSS Rocket Punch, MSS drones. Team Scrub, Cable first, Team Scrub Sent first. SSC is Storm Sent Cable. Matrix Storm first, Matrix Sent first. Team Combo Fiend Mag first, Team Combo Fiend Sent first. With Combo Fiend, the Combo Fiend assist I'm using for this case is drones. Not saying that Rocket Punch isn't viable, but I feel with drones it's just much better, because I think the drones aid Iron Man much more so. And also I think Combo Fiend Rocket Punch have quite a few tough fights, so I just chose the better version in my opinion. Once again, Scrub Clops, that's Cable, Sentinel, Cyclops. Cable first, Scrub Clops Sent first. Team Duck, welcome. If you're just following, welcome. Strider Sent, Strider Doom Sent first. Strider Sent Doom, Strider first. Roundhouse's team, Storm Sent Iron Man, starting Storm. Sent Storm Iron Man, starting Sentinel. Iron Man Sentinel Cable. I really chose to add that team in there because, in my opinion, I think it's an extremely good team. It's one of the very few teams in the game that I feel are a legit three order team. All right, there's quite a few teams that you could play in 2 orders, but I think that team can be used 3 orders. I have that starting Iron Man, starting Sentinel, and starting Cable. So all right, let's get into it. We're gonna do some shit. All right, so Santhrax Storm first. Let's talk about that. Obviously, versus itself is gonna be a 5-5 matchup, right? Santhrax versus Santhrax with Sent first. I have it down as another 5-5 matchup because, in my opinion, the Storm versus Sentinel match, being that they have the same anti-air, which is Captain Commando, they both have a ground controlling assist. Storm has drones, Sentinel has Typhoon, so it's still basically point character 2 Lions versus point character 2 Lions. And I feel that matchup comes down to who has the lead, and whichever character gets to play lamer, meaning that they don't have to go try to overextend and make a comeback, has the advantage. All right, so in the beginning of the game, there's no leads right there, right? So, you know, starting Storm, you have access to a DAC. It's not going to kill him, but you know, you can still take some big damage on him. Relatively safe way out the match. And you know, you have your counter call, so you know he can't just drop cap on you at all times. What's up, Benny Fresh? And then like vice versa, it's the same thing. You know, when Santhrax starts Sentinel against Storm, you know, obviously he has a counter call on her. She can't really just call drones in a bad way because he has cap. He does have a safe DAC out the match with Storm second, but he does have to worry about, you know, which assist she's going to call, like drones or cap in certain situations, and she can still land some pretty big damage. You know what I mean? So I have that matchup as 5-5. I think whoever's using their particular strategy better in that matchup, you know, is going to have the edge. I don't see any particular advantage that way. Storm Sentinel Commando versus Magnetostorm Cyclops. I don't know if you guys know, in my opinion, Magnetostorm Cyclops is the 3rd best team in the game. I'll talk about why some other time, but this right now is just a matchup chart here. So the 2 teams that I really feel give Magstorm Cyclops a really tough time is Storm Sentinel Commando. That's Santhrax starting Storm, and MSP, because you know it's almost the same archetype but just with better bonuses and everything like that. So Santhrax definitely has the edge here because Magneto has to fight the Storm Sent DAC. She has big damage, and the Cyclops assist isn't dirty enough to counterattack, you know, all the tools that she has on Santhrax for it to have a distinct advantage. You have to be very skilled with Mag Psych to really overtake Storm Sent Commando. With Storm with the DAC, the runaway tools, you know, Roundhouse Commando is like a full screen standing roundhouse rather than just, you know, at the height she's at. So MFC is naturally going to have a hard time because there's a huge, not a huge, but there's a distinct advantage in a point war, and then which leads to winning the point war with Santhrax Storm first against MFC leads to Sentinel Commando coming in next versus Storm Cyclops, and Sentinel Commando being able to play lame and defensive, which is in his favor versus Storm, especially when she doesn't have a damaging counter call and she doesn't have the DAC behind her. So MFC is going to have a tough time with Point Storm. Okay, so Santhrax versus Team Row. This is Santhrax Storm first still. Let me just put it here. I have it down as 5-5. Okay. Why? Because although the point war is gonna be equally, not equally as hard, but it's still gonna be a little difficult for Magneto, you have to look at the totality of the teams. All right. So Magneto has the Scimitar assist, which can definitely send any of Santhrax's assists to the sky, and you have a one-on-one for a little while. Now the one-on-one goes both ways, absolutely, but I think it's safe to say like Magneto's probably one of the best one-on-one characters in the game, aside from him and maybe Iron Man. You know what I mean? Not saying that he necessarily beats Storm one-on-one, but it's a, you know, let's face facts here. It's extremely hard to fight Magneto without having an assist. The speed of his limbs, the priority on his buttons makes him tough to deal with, which is why, you know, when you don't have an anti-air or anything like that, he usually mauls you. So it's safe to say he has the advantage in a one-on-one. What's up, Rob? I just started. MSP is missing. Wow, that's how high I had the team. I put MSP last. That is crazy, Rob. That's how high I had MSP. I'll put MSP last, and I'll go through it at the same time. All right, so back to Team Row Mag first, right? So now, not only do you have the counter call of the Shimmer Sword, but you have the counter call on the Rocket Punch, which makes it that Storm can't really call Commando all willy-nilly. You know what I mean? Not that she has to, but you know, that's something to think about. Now I also have it as 5-5 because I look at the totality of the team. So worst case scenario, well, not worst case, but a bad case scenario is Magneto gets hit by the DAC, and now you have Sentinel, Commando, Storm, and then Magneto's a very, very, very good battery. So most likely Cable's gonna come in with at least 3 bars. Now once again, I'm thinking on the highest level, Magneto's not always just gonna get DAC'd quickly. If he does get DAC'd, Cable coming in with, if Magneto's dead, Cable coming in with 4 bars is definitely a comeback factor against Sentinel Commando. Even though Sentinel Commando can hold its own against Cable on that team with no anti-air, but if you're patient and you know you're clever, you really pick your spots. Like all it takes is 1 bad assist call, 1 misread on an unfly, you know, anything like that, and you get shot, and then you're right back in the game, right? So then, like, if Sentinel gets shot, now you got Commando coming in next, and after the shot, they can either keep Cable in there or they can tag in Sentinel. Now you have basically a character and assist, because just Storm Cat against 2 characters, so that can still be a tough time. So it's not a checkmate if she DACs Magneto. That's why I said, you know, you want to look at the totality of the matchup. You want to look at the totality. And now also I have a 5 because it's just so important, and it sucks that it's like this, but the beginning of the match plays such a huge part, that can be a potential checkmate right there. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of ways for Team Row to win, and you know, there's a lot of ways for Santax to win. Obviously Santax has an advantage in neutral and having the space controlling assist, the damaging counter call. There's no real weakness that Santax has that other than Cap getting snapped in. But Team Row has the tools to deal with those type of things, because any hit that Team Row gets, you know, the damage is big. And then Team Row is the type of team that you really want to play the matchups with. So if Team Row does happen to wear down Storm without getting DAC, let's say they go back down to like 10% each, and then Storm has to bail, well, now you got Sentinel got to deal with Cable. You know what I mean? Which is a thing. It's a tough thing to deal with. Optimal situation is Santax wants to kill Magneto without the DAC and save it for Cable, but at the same time that's a risk, right? Against a very good Magneto, you have to avoid being in a blocking situation, and then when you get in a blocking situation, you got to block. So in this case, I look at the totality of the team, and that's why I come to it with it being a 5-5 matchup. Team Row Sentinel first. I also have as a 5-5 matchup. It's tough for Sentinel to deal with her with those assists, but he does not have the downfall of like just being killed with 2 meters off of DAC, and he can definitely inflict big damage on her if he lands a fly combo or even an unfly combo, and he has more than 1 bar, because then he can always do the tag combo. If you don't know what the optimal combo is with Team Row into tag, let me know. I'll definitely show you guys what it is a little later. And if you're playing Team Row, this is something that you definitely want to be shooting for. Team Row doesn't have the greatest of neutral assists, but it's a 3-character team that has longevity. You can play the matchups. When I say play the matchups, I mean like, you know, like you can really say like, okay, I'll play the Sentinel versus Storm matchup. Then if he puts in Sentinel, I'll find a way to get Cable in it. You know what I mean? Like you can always try to play the favorable matchups. Welcome, Benny. So I do like the matchup with Sent First against Storm, because all you have to do is weather the storm, right? No pun intended. You weather the storm with the Sentinel versus Storm matchup. You do well with Sentinel, and then you're forcing the Cable versus Sentinel matchup. Or don't forget, you have what I like to call the Magnus factor. So being that he's last, you have the door open to make some pretty good comebacks if you have a very good Magneto. He's good for the guard breaks. And then let's think about these situations towards late game and end of the match, right? So most of the time, late game, end of the match, you know, you might be down a character or two, you know, your characters might be bleeding, and now you gotta fight Magneto without having all your beginning resources at your full disposal. So like, think about that, you know what I mean? And that enables, you might have just one assist against him. I got you, SS 0238. You know, so when you have to fight Magneto towards the end of the game, you don't have all your resources against you, not against you, with you. You know, that makes it a little more difficult than fighting him in the beginning of the match when you have, you know, all your assists healthy and you have the DAC. So these little things make a difference, you know what I mean? So that's why I have that matchup as 5-5 also. MSS Rocket Punch. MSS Rocket Punch. So I have that 5.5, 4.5 in Santhrax Storm First's favor. I really, that's one of the most funnest matchups in the game to me. I really like it. You know, it's a terrific matchup. MSS has a very good time against Santhrax. The only thing is, starting Storm, if you get away in the beginning of the match, I think it can be extremely hard for MSS, being that there's no anti-air and Magneto has to deal with Storm running away and sneaking in rushdown when she gets to set up traps with drones. She has Commando, you know what I mean, and she has DAC going her way, which can really set MSS back. You know, once you get rid of Magneto, then Set Cap can really play campy against Storm Rocket Punch, because it's just not the same threat level as Magneto. Even though she has the DAC, he can get away with like going for a lot of mixes without worrying about an anti-air coming and hitting him, and he can really spam Typhoon on her. So, you know, it's a little difficult. Obviously MSS is not out of it because it always has the DAC. You have the beginning of the match, you know, one snapback and it's probably going to be over. But MSS lacks in a neutral department, and you know, pretty much other teams really get the whore out their assist against it. So, you know, if you couple that with, you know, decent offense, you know, MSS can have a really hard time, you know what I mean? But being that it's a 3-character team, it has longevity, it has ways out the match, and there's a lot of ways for MSS to win. That's why I have it as such a close matchup. An argument can be made for 6-4 or even 5-5 if you feel. You know, I can definitely see that. But in my opinion, I think that matchup is at minimum 5-5. But I do like the advantage for Santhrax there. All right. MSS Drones. So I have that matchup as 5-5 because it's pretty much the same situation, but I think the drones, giving that team drones assists, give you a very good neutral assist, so that you're not like just out there naked. It's not free reign. The drones are very disruptive. They interrupt a lot of things, and you know, there's a lot of dirt you can do with the drones. You know what I mean? Yeah, you lose access to short, but at the same time, you have things like grab. You have space controlling assists. You can, you know, you can force the issue more. You can get your maul on more, and it's very good in the scramble. So And the drones definitely benefit Storm more. So even if you kill Magneto, Storm drones is definitely going to be much more of a problem than Storm Rocket Punch. So that's why I have that matchup as a dead 5/5. Scrub. Cable first. Santax beats Team Scrub. It's not free. Cable definitely has the tools he needs to deal with Storm on that team, but she has her ability to open him up. She has drones. She has Commando. So she has big damage. She has a counter call. So he starts the game at 1 level. So it's going to be hard for him to just really whore out his assists against her, because she has a counter call, and if she stays in a certain range, she can definitely be tough to deal with. So she definitely has the advantage over Cable right there. And then once she kills Cable, then it's like, okay, now we got basically the same team, but I have an extra character, I have an extra assist. So Team Scrub definitely, with Cable on point, definitely at a disadvantage versus Santhrax. Winnable though. 6-4 is not bad. It's winnable, but that's just where the advantage lies. Team Scrub Sentinel first, whole other story. So, you know, very much so, it's going to be very point war oriented. Because if Team Scrub sent first kill Storm, the game might be over, because you're gonna have Cable coming in next with bars, and we already know how bad that matchup is. You know what I mean? It sucks. But on the flip side, I have it 5/5 because Sentinel doesn't have access to the Typhoon assist, so he has no long range you know, pressure. He has to be like in a certain distance with Cap. She has a ground controlling assist, which he doesn't, and Commando. And it's very hard for Sentinel to get Cable out the match safely. So that factor is gonna make up, you know, a big difference. But if you're playing Team Scrub against a Santhrax, I think the best bet is starting Sentinel in general. Versus Storm first, because that's it. You know, you like I said about the matchup, Storm versus Sentinel, in my opinion, whoever has the lead, or whoever gets to play lamer has the advantage. Let me see, is anybody in here? Someone, let me block this guy. Yo, what up, Neem? What's going on? I know. I'm gonna add MSP. I'm definitely gonna add MSP. I was thinking so highly of MSP that I forgot to add it. So I'm gonna just go through that. So yeah, Santax versus Storm Saint Cable. What's up, Brutank? Santax wins that. Remember, I'm talking about Santax Storm first. Santax wins that. It's because those assists. Storm Saint Cable is going to be a little bit like Team Row in terms of how it's going to have to play, but that one touch kill factor is just not the same. Her assists are going to get hard punished by Commando if she calls them in not such a efficient way. Counter call on the Shibatar. It's gonna do a lot of damage. She can't really whore out Jones, whereas Santhrax can really get away with calling its assists a lot against Storm Saint Cable, because the counter call is just not going to be there like that. And then whoever wins the point war, like it's DAC versus DAC, right? But whoever wins the point war, even though Storm Saint Cable wins the point war, Set Cap is that powerful where it's still not going to necessarily be at a huge disadvantage against Sentinel, Cable, Storm in that order. And then Storm Saint Cable is going to have to find a way to get Cable in a match if it is down also. So that problem, that team has tough issues with set cap. So the point storm part is just a bonus. So if she does well, it's most likely going to be over. If she doesn't do well, set cap is still potent enough to hold its own and potentially make a comeback, where you're going to have to still play safe, you're going to have to still play careful, you're going to have to still play with your head in order to not let that happen. But like I said, 6-4 is not horrible. It's winnable. You know, you just know that you're playing at a disadvantage. But playing at a disadvantage in this game is not always a bad thing, because we have the human element that comes into account. Team Matrix Storm first. Pretty much same thing as Storm sent Cable, except Matrix Storm might have the advantage in the point war, being that she has a way to enable getting the DAC off one extra way than Santax does with the Gene Spice assist. But then you, at the same time, set Psych versus set Cap is just that bad, where he can make a comeback pretty handily against set Psych if you force that matchup. So Matrix kills Storm on Santhrax. Now with the DAC, now you have set Psych Storm against set Cap. Set Cap can hold its own, you know, potentially make that comeback, and then you have Cyclops coming in next against set Cap, which is another bad matchup. So then, like, Matrix is gonna have to really try to play like, okay, I'm gonna DAC, then I'm gonna try to run away, I'm trying to get 3 bars with set Psych Storm and ground out the matchup, try to get Storm back in there so I can kind of run it back. So, you know, it's gonna be very heavily reliant on Storm. Team Matrix in general, which I'm gonna talk about when I get to it, is very point reliant. So if Matrix kills Storm on Santhrax, the game is not over. It's still a lot to play. But if Santhrax kills Storm on Matrix, it's ball game, it's checkmate. So that's why, you know, you got to look at the totality of the matchup and all the different situations given. Matrix sent first, that is bus ass. 6.5, 3.5. Sent Psych does not do well against Storm, drones, and Commando. She has too much utility. She has wear down, she has rush down, and it's not that hard for her to avoid the Cyclops assist, because it's a little underwhelming. I mean, it's doable, but it's extremely hard. And then Storm Psych is going to come in without the aid of the DAC or a damaging counter call. That's rough. That is extremely rough. And like I said, the situation is the same. Let's say Matrix sent first does get a chance to kill Storm on Santhrax. The real issue with the Santhrax is going to be the Sent Cap. I've seen Sent Cap wipe out a whole team so many times. So if you can't nullify that threat, then the matchup is still going to be pretty rough. So that's why I have that at 6.5, 3.5. Combo Fiend Mag first with the drones. Okay. Combo Fiend Mag first with the drones. This, to me, this matchup is definitely in Santhrax's favor. I really like the Storm versus Magneto match in that fight. And then, you know, you have Iron Man coming in next, or Set Cap versus Iron Man is not a bad fight at all. Set Cap pretty much is gonna have a nice time with that team, but it's not that, it's bad in neutral. It's bad in neutral, but it's not that bad in the matchup of totality, because you have the beginning of the match. Magneto does have grab into assist, which can be a checkmate, and then you have like Iron Man, who can get a random hit and you can mess around and get 300%ed. So if that one touch kill factor wasn't there, this would probably be a horrible matchup. But the fact that the one touch kill factor is there makes it very playable. But, you know, at the same time, you know, if Mag dies on that team can very much get ran from, and it's gonna be a tough time to really catch her and make that comeback. And then Iron Man trying to open up Set Cap if he's down is gonna be tough too. He's gonna have to get a counter hit, or, you know, be really clever, which is possible. But Santax has the advantage there. Combo Fiend sent first. definitely a better matchup. Definitely a better matchup. I have it at 5.5, 4.5. You know, a lot of it's gonna be the issues are gonna be the same. Storm with those 2 assists is gonna give Sentinel some trouble, but it is Sentinel, and he doesn't have to do much to kill her. You know, if he just has some good spots, you know what I mean. If she gets hit by a repulsor blast the wrong way, that's gonna be crazy. And then if she dies and you get Iron Man in there, or you get Magneto in there somehow or some way, now Cap has to work. This is where the team has to work. So if I was playing against a Santhrax and I played Combo Fiend, I would definitely consider starting Sentinel. In my opinion, it's just a much better matchup, because the problem against Combo Fiend is Storm. Storm fights that team extremely well, so you want to try to neutralize that threat. Even if you don't beat her, you want to try to take her down as much as you can, so she doesn't just destroy the whole team. And Sentinel has the life and the difficulty in matchups to be able to do that. He can wear her down. Okay, Stone Commando versus Cyclops. That fight is bust ass. Cable again, Cable with just 1 bar. Storm with the counter call, the drones, her ability to open him up. She can stay in the sky because there's no cap, so she can float to him all day. Avoid sight or block sight, get in there, counter call, and then she gets to get some rush on, and then she can just wash, rinse, repeat. And then you got set sight coming in, which loses to Storm Cap, and which just freaking gets bodied by Set Cap. So like that is not an optimal way to fight that team by using Cable Set Cyclops. That matchup is busted. Your defense is gonna have to be ridiculous, and you're just gonna have a hard time because you're gonna have to take a lot. Cyclops sent first. This matchup is better than starting Cable, but the issue is just as bad. Like I said, Sent Psych alone definitely loses the Storm with drones and Cap pretty bad, and then he has no way to get Cable in a match, so that's gonna be rough also. So it's winnable, but you got to be clever, and like in terms of a lot of games, that's not gonna be a matchup that can be overcame a lot against high level play. And what I'm talking about on high level play. Team Duck. So I have a 5-5 here because I'm not too sure because I haven't played this matchup enough with Duck, but like just based on the eye test and what I see, I feel like this could be a 5-5 matchup, if not in Storm Sentinel Commando's favor. But I don't personally have enough experience with it, and I don't see Duck play against too many Storm Sentinel Commandos enough. But just by the sheer mechanics of the teams, to me I can see how this would be a 5-5. But I put a question mark there because I don't have enough intel on it. Sent Strider Doom. This would be, to me, this would be a matchup that is in Sent Strider Doom's favor, except for the fact that the point war is not horrible for Storm, because like I said, when she has drones and commando, she has a lot of utility to deal with pretty much almost everything in the game. Now it gets rough if she gets worn down and Strider comes in with bars, and then Strider can really lock him down, right? But that's a best case scenario type thing. But all in all, she can take advantage of the skies. He has to be really patient against her. The Sentinel versus Strider fight is it can really go either way. I do think the Strider Doom team would have a slight advantage there, but you gotta take into account the human element and the random factor. The random factor is definitely what is going to change the matchup. You know what I mean? Sent Strider Doom is a great team. It's definitely very user dependent, because it's gonna be how well the user can use it. There's not gonna be any real crutches or anything to oh, if I'm not playing so good, I can just fall back on this. Santhrax, you don't have to play great with the team because you could fall back on how powerful the assists are in neutral, right? You know, a couple of cap calls will get you some free damage, you know, that you didn't really earn, and you know, you're right there. So you can kind of fall back on those if you're not playing at your best sometimes, which is, you know, which is what makes certain teams in the game better than others, right? Oh yeah, we going in deep tonight, Bill. What's going on, baby? We going in. So all in all, I have that as a 5-5 matchup. You know, the human element plays a factor. Otherwise, in that order, I might have set Strider Doom as a favorite. Starting Strider, same thing. Pretty much the same thing. Like, the thing with Strider Doom is you always have to play your best. That team is a very good team in my opinion. But you always have to play your best. You can't really, like, if you're playing somebody that you're better than, you still have to play your best. You know what I mean? You can't really just like say like, just an easy win button. No, because at any given time you can get random out and your Strider's dead, and then you got to deal with, you know, just having Doom assist as an anti-air. So that human element plays a part. So pretty much the same thing. Roundhouse's team: Storm, Iron Man, Storm, Sentinel, Iron Man. And I put RH there because I'm using it with Roundhouse's assist. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, like, I have question marks probably next to all of Roundhouse's teams because I don't fully understand, you know, the total strengths and weaknesses of his team in terms of playing against it and things like that. So, you know, just from what I feel like I feel like Santac should have an advantage of that, but he plays those wonky assists. So, you know, it's hard for me to determine. So I'm not gonna, like, you know, just say that. But I do feel the Commando assist is gonna have an advantage there. But you know, I could be wrong there because, like I said, I don't know. I don't play his team. I don't play against his team often enough, so I could be wrong. Same thing. Starting set, I have it as a 5-5. I think it's gonna be definitely better than starting Storm, but you know, once again, not too much information. Iron Man, Sentinel, Cable. Iron Man first. I really like this team, by the way. Yeah, Manifest, she does. I really like Iron Man, Sentinel, Cable. I like it because I think it's a team that really supports Iron Man. You can't see it? Really? Damn, I know why. Oh, I know why. Because you're on my other monitor. You're on my other monitor. And the other monitor does not fit for this. One second, let me see if I can switch this around. Because I don't know why this is over here. You see that Bruce? That Bruce not fire? I know, right, Bill? I should have did a PowerPoint like Jason. Okay, guys, how's that? Can you guys see there? So I'm on Iron Man set cable, right? Okay. So I have that 6-4 Santhrax because I do feel Storm on Santhrax wins the point war. But listen, it's close because, like I said, Iron Man with those assists, you know, it really gives him support. And obviously we know what happens when Iron Man gets a hit. You know, he has drones, he has grabbing the drones, and he has that cable assist, which he's really good with in a weird way. And then, you know, like Iron Man can really play a wear down game on that team also, right? He doesn't have to go and get a hit. He can sit there and call drones and smart bomb you a lot and do like annoying stuff like that. And if he has one good trick, like, it's ball game. The team has cable on it, which, like I said, you know, if you're fighting Santhrax and, you know, you can wear the storm part down, you still got cable in there to deal with Sentinel. And, you know, if you keep Iron Man alive, there's potential comeback factor right there. And Sentinel with the Iron Man assist is very good, as we've seen from Roundhouse. So, you know, I have that matchup 6-4 Santhrax Storm first favorite. Iron Man Storm cable. I keep saying Storm. Look, I'm such a Storm head. Iron Man Sentinel cable starting Sentinel, I think, is definitely a better matchup because that repulsor blast assist can be annoying to try and rush down with Sentinel. So, you know, he has some tools to keep her off of him, even though she can pretty much run away from him. But, you know, he has other tools to deal with her, so I think it's definitely a better matchup. But still in Santhrax's favor, 5.5, 4.5. And starting cable, I think definitely loses because of the Storm Sent Commando match versus cable, which is bad. MSP. So, MSP. Okay, so I feel this. Tell all the way down, Bill. Oh, I know. I know how you guys feel about MSP, but let me show you how I feel about this matchup. Okay, yeah, I said it. So I do think Santhrax wins this matchup 6-4. All right. Obviously the most crucial area is the beginning of the match. You know, that's a bitch. That is a bitch. I'm not gonna tell you it's not. It's a bitch. But for MSP to deal with drones and Cap and chasing Storm, it's gonna have a hard time. It is going to have, I don't care who you are, it's gonna have a hard time. Even though, yes, you only need one hit, and this is on hit, but she also has the ability to land attacks on him. She can stay in the skies. She can whore out the assist because there's no counter call. She can fight him with lightning attacks in the air. So she has a number of ways to hit Magneto and get the DAC off. So now, being that Magneto is a big part of MSP and why it's so potent, if you can nullify, or not nullify, but neutralize a Magneto part, then Storm Psy versus Sent Cap is rough. It's rough. That Commando assist is tough. She got to watch how she calls Psylocke. There's no one-touch kill. You know what I mean? So, like, in neutral, this matchup would be a lot worse if it wasn't for the random factor of MSP, stuff like random double snaps. You know what I mean? Like how easy it is to convert off a Psylocke and how deadly Mag Psy is. But in terms of, like, I'm talking about playing a matchup, like getting away in neutral and stuff like that, I think it's pretty bad. I think what makes it 6-4 is the beginning of the match. I think if matches started full screen against Santhrax, I think MSP will have a very, very hard time with the team. Once again, this is my opinion, and you know, I understand how you guys feel, and I respect it. I respect it. All right. So, Thrax Sentinel first. So we already spoke about Storm first. 5-5 here. So Santhrax versus Magnetostorm Cyclops. Sentinel first. Magnetostorm Cyclops fights Cap very well. Mag-Cyc fights Cap very well. Very well. It has the same conversion rate as MSP because how big Sentinel is and how heavy he is, but there's more space control, more range, and there's more block stun on the assist. So Mag-Cyc has a good time with Cap. It doesn't beat it necessarily, but you know, if it in neutral is not, to me it's not as, it's a little harder to get away from Mag-Cyc than Mag-Sci with Cap. So I have that matchup as 5-5 because the beginning part of the matchup, and then you know, if you have a lead on Santhrax, you know, you're not fighting Cap second. The Cap part is neutralized, and the Storm Cap versus Storm Psych, if you know, especially if Santhrax is down, you know, that's going to be tough for them to have to go and attack and make that comeback because there's the risk of getting hit by Cyclops. But MSC is a very highly skilled team. It takes a lot of execution, and you have to have very good conversions to be able to use the team at the highest level. So you know, there's a lot of difficulty to using that team, and you lose a bonus to double step and shit like that. Santhrax versus Team Row Mag first. Very similar to what I said about the reverse order. To me, this is a 5-5 matchup because Magneto has the tools necessary to deal with Cap. Some might say he has the advantage. That's possible. I don't feel so. I think it's pretty even. If Santhrax does kill Magneto, then it can be a checkmate because Storm could run away for the rest of the match. But the Magneto factor against Sentinel is going to give him a hard time because he has counter call, so he can't just call Cap willy-nilly, and he has a Scimitar counter call. So you can call Cable if you want to create the one-on-one, and you can call Commando, Rocket Punch if you want to put damage on. But either way, and it's not going to take too much to kill him either, and you have Snapback. The benefit to starting Sentinel is you don't have to deal with the beginning of the match. So either way, you know, you're gonna be in a decent predicament. You know what I mean? There's no clear advantage right there because that's gonna be heavily reliant on a point war. If Sentinel kills Magneto, it's probably a checkmate with the runaway. But if Mag hits Sentinel and kills him, like the rest of the team gets Garbuck, we know what happens with Magneto. That's Magnesh. Team Row sent first against Santhrax, sent first 7-3. That shit is boss ass. Sentinel on Team Row with those assists does not beat Cap. Those assists get blasted, and then you got Storm coming in against Cable with EM disruptors. Like, he doesn't even have an assist there sometimes because at least when he has Rocket Punch, she's kind of a wall, and the super armor, she gets hit weirdly. But with EM disruptor, like, he's gonna get blasted. She's gonna stay in the sky all day. That's bus ass. That is straight bus ass. Sentinel on Team Row can't really deal with Cap to a degree. You know, if both Sentinel players are like up there, you know what I mean? I don't think there's too much to say there. MSS Rocket Punch. So Santhrax, Sentinel first, loses to MSS Rocket Punch. Yes, it loses to MSS Rocket Punch. So the fact that number one, MSS is a 3-character team, so it can play the longevity game against Santhrax. Number two, the most dangerous part of Santhrax is Cap, and Mag Rocket Punch fights Cap extremely well. It's not free, it's not bust ass, but if you weather the storm against the Cap part, then Storm Cap comes in and she's gonna be fighting Magneto, or if you got Magneto out, she's gonna be fighting Storm Set DAC with the Rocket Punch. They both have counter calls, but my Storm, if it hits you, I'm gonna DAC, whereas you're not gonna kill me. It's winnable. It's definitely winnable, but it's definitely in MSS's favor because if MSS hits Sentinel, it's pretty much a checkmate for the team. You know what I mean? If Santhrax kills Magneto, MSS still has a decent shot because you can run back the Storm Set DACs. So, you know, Santhrax just has to do a lot to kill MSS, and whereas MSS has a lot of ways to not lose. You know what I mean? So starting Sentinel, I definitely feel MSS Rocket Venture wins. MSS Drone, same thing, pretty much, with the exception of I think Mag Drones does extremely well against Sentinel for him to deal with that, and obviously the Storm Drones part plays a factor. And now MSS just has more neutral. You know what I mean? It loses short, and it loses the counter call, but it makes up for the neutral. So you lose one thing, and you gain another. So that's why I kept it at 4-6. Hang on one sec, guys. All right. Team Scrub Cable first. So I definitely think Team Scrub Cable first beats Santhrax starting Sentinel. Even though he only has one level, he has drones and Commando, where Santhrax just has Commando and Typhoon, which Typhoon can't really be used too much in this matchup. And we just know how bad Cable versus Sentinel is. Like it's a shitty matchup. Big guy gets shot. Know what I mean? And if Team Scrub kills Sentinel on that team, which it has the advantage, and it's in its favor to do so, it's ball game. It's ball game. Whereas if Sentinel beats Cable, and let's say he took some damage, Sent Cap can still come back, and it's not a checkmate. But vice versa, it's going to be a checkmate. Team Scrub Sentinel first. It's pretty much it's almost the same matchup. You got Set Cap versus Set Cap as the point war, but Santhrax can get Storm in the match, whereas Cable cannot get in the match. And also, the Storm versus Cable match is not a bad fight when Cable only has one assist as opposed to having two lines, but it's still winnable. It is still winnable because if Team Scrub Sentinel first does kill Santhrax, then you can get Cable in there. He still has his resources, and he's gonna be tough to deal with when he has a lead, when he's jumping around doing nothing and wearing your shit down. You know what I mean? So I have that as 5.5, 4.5 in Santhrax's favor. Storm Set Cable. Storm Set Cable loses to Santhrax. The biggest threat is the Set Cap, and there's no advantage there starting Storm. And Storm Set Cable is not really a multi-order team. Those assists get blasted by the Commando assist, and she just has to work really hard to beat Set Cap. You know what I mean? It's winnable. Like all these matchups are winnable, but advantage Santhrax. Matrix Storm first, pretty much the same boat. It's winnable, but Matrix just has to play extremely well to win a matchup, because Santhrax has so much leeway, and Sentinel Commando has so much leeway against Storm Set teams that don't have Cap on them. Matrix set first versus Santhrax set first. Boss ass 7-3. Set Psych does not Set Psych does not beat Set Cap at all. It does not. Set Psych does not beat Set Cap at all. If you're winning that matchup, that means you're most likely getting away with it. So they might not know the matchup like that. And then see, the thing with Matrix, Rob, is the greatest attribute of Matrix is the ability for Storm to get the DAC off with with all the tools she has, with the addition of the Cyclops assist. But now when you start Sentinel, that's getting taken away. You don't have a damaging counter call. You don't have full screen coverage. Santhrax can really do nothing and let the assist do all the work. Santhrax can call assists willy-nilly. You really can't do anything to him to say, hey, stop doing that. Whereas if you try and play the same way, a couple of Commando blasts, you're like, okay, I can't do that to you. You know what I mean? So it's just tough. It's just an uphill battle from jump. You know what I mean? Just an uphill battle. Combo Fiend Magneto first with the drones. So like I said, I think the Mag drones versus Sentinel matchup is a really good fight. So once again, Santhrax, the threat is Sent Cap. So Magneto comes in. You know what I mean? He has options. He can grab into. Oh yeah, it's a lot of data, G. You know, he has grab into drones. He has the counter call on a repulsor blast assist. He can grab into repulsor blast. You know, he has a lot of tools that he can work with against Sent Cap. And if he gets the hit, we already know what happens when Combo Fiend hits you. It's pretty much a done deal if Combo Fiend like hits you. But you know, it's Santhrax. Santhrax has the tools to deal with it. It's just gonna come down to, you know, who's playing neutral better. So I have the match at 5-5 because I feel if Magneto dies, I feel Storm has free reign against that team. Combo Fiend set first, 6.5, 3.5. Starting Sentinel on Combo Fiend does not do well against Santhrax starting Sentinel. Once again, Santhrax starting Sentinel with Commando assist against a Sentinel without Commando assist has a huge advantage. You know, the Sky plays a big role in that matchup, and Sent Cap has too many ways of inflicting damage and can take advantage of that. I don't know Thriller's team. That's why I didn't include it. I fought against Thriller one time, and I haven't really played against anyone that uses Iron Man War Machine combination, so I don't really know, you know, what's real, what's fake, you know what I mean? So I don't have much to go off of. That's why I didn't include it. But yeah, Combo Fiend sent first. Like I said, Iron Man against the Storm matchup. Storm freaking gives that team bust ass. No, Jason, I forgot to add MSP. That's why. And Rob brought it to my attention. I just added it. I'm doing it as I go. I was thinking about MSP so much, I forgot to add the team on the list. Scrub Clops, Cable first against Santhrax. That's actually not a bad fight for Scrub Clops. It's not a bad fight. You do only start the match with one level, so Santhrax can, you know, I mean, Santhrax can kind of be tricky and do stuff to make you burn that one level. So now you really have to fight Sent Cap with Cable without having Commando assist also. But if you weather the storm, you know what I mean? If you weather the storm with Cable, if you can get rid of the Sentinel, it's not a bad fight after that. The Sent Sight can hold down Storm Cap when he has a lead. The only thing is it's gonna come down to the point war. It's gonna come down to the point war. That's what it's gonna come down to. If Santhrax kills Cable on that team, it's ball game though. It is ball game. What's up, Jason? I'm sipping on some Long Island iced tea too. No, I wasn't doing that necessarily. No, I wasn't doing that. Nah. Nick Rocks, you're just in time. You're late to the party, but the party's all night. We got all night. We got all night. Okay, so I said that was Scrub Clops, right? Where we at? 5-5. Scrub Clops starting Sent against Santhrax 7-3. I've spoke about this already. You know, we don't really got to talk too much right there. That's bust ass. Santhrax against Team Duck. So I have the question mark here because I don't have enough matchup experience against that team, nor have I seen it in action that much or seen these particular matchups, like, you know, and with enough volume for me to say definitively. But I would guess a 6-4 in Santhrax's favor because the Sent Cap versus Spiral matchup is pretty good, and then, you know, we know Storm versus Cable, but even though Cable's coming in 5 bars, I think that once again, when it comes to Santhrax, is going to be heavily reliant on the point war, in which I think Spiral's going to have to do a lot to really nullify Sent Cap. You know, Duck does a great job of it, and he does do well against Santhrax, but like I said, I don't see enough value. Sent Strider Doom. It would be cool if Duck was here. I don't know if Duck is here. Let me hit Duck up real quick. Let me see. Oh, Duck. Oh, I just text you, Duck. Duck, man. I don't know. You know, how do you feel about Santhrax sent first against your team? Just curious, Duck. But I'm gonna keep moving because we got a lot of data to cover. You love sent first, okay? All right, that's what you see. You know what I mean? But that could be a matchup preference for Duck because he's comfortable with the matchup. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's a good matchup for him. He can just like it. But like I said, I have the question mark there because I don't have enough experience with the matchup. So Duck knows his team much better than me. So yeah, I get that, Duck. He is big. He's big. He's big. Sent Strider Doom against Santhrax. I think that's an even matchup. I definitely think that's an even matchup. Santhrax has the advantage in a Sent fight when they're in neutral in the sky, but then if the other Sentinel Doom gets on top of him, he's not going to be able to call cap like that, and then he can really get some wear down in there. And then, you know, once Strider gets the orbs popping, it's going to be a little difficult to get him off. Is there a link? I don't know what to talk about that. But yeah, in general, I think that's a 5-5 matchup. I think it's going to come down to who's playing better. But like I said, the human element plays a part. Can you not see that side? Let me see if I can give you guys a link here. Let me see. One second. I don't know if it'll let me do this. See if that worked. I don't know. Oh, you're on the phone, Duck? Okay. Tell me if that link worked. Oh, no, it's not valid. It's not valid. It is not valid. I'll post a link. I'll give you something later on. Let me keep going. I'm out here drinking. Strider Sentinel Doom against Santhrax sent first. I have it as a 5-5 with a question mark because I don't see Strider on point too often, but I do know that you can open up with Sentinel having to take the string into the trap with the Doom assist, and I do know that you can guarantee Sentinel taking out, I think, about 30%. If I'm not, I could be mistaken in chip, but I do know like he can get the trap going, and Sentinel's big. So in totality of the matchup, I have a question mark there, but I feel it's a 5-5 matchup. Roundhouse's teams, like I said, I'm gonna skip over those. I got 6-4. This is where you guys can't see. I have 6-4s with Roundhouse's teams, like I said, because I don't have enough info. And then with Iron Man sent Cable, I have 6-4 Santhrax. The Sentinel fight against Iron Man with those assists is not a bad one for him. It's probably in his favor a little bit, but Iron Man does have the tools to be able to overcome that. So it's winnable. I have it at 6-4. Same thing with starting Scent because of that repulsor blast assist. You can do some pretty good damage to as a counter call. And then starting Cable, I have it as a 5-5 matchup. So MSP versus Santhrax, Sentinel first. I have that as 5-5. All right, I have it as 5-5. Because I think the Magneto Psylocke versus Sentinel Commando matchup is a 5-5 matchup, and with those two teams, it's going to be very dependent on a point war on who's going to have the advantage for the rest of the match. The benefit of starting Sentinel, you don't have to worry about getting opened up in the beginning of the match, so you know, like MSP is going to be forced to play it out, but oh, help me out, Jason. You know this is not my thing. Please help me out. Talk to me. You said sell B2. All right, let's go full screen. Let's go full screen. Hold on, we're gonna bring Jason in here real quick. Go on Discord real quick, Jay. He said go to sell B2. Yeah, guys, I don't do this type of thing. Jason is gonna be my guide here. This is his thing.
You hear me?
Yeah.
All right. B2.
Hold on. Let me just let you see it. Good night, baby. Wait, that's not the right one. Okay, so I'm going to sell B2.
Yep, click it.
Click the 2.
No, click, so go to column B, scroll
Oh,
down.
I can't hear you.
Go to column B and scroll down to and click it. All right, now view. Freeze.
Yeah.
Do one row. This is weird. Okay, and now go back to view. Go to freeze. One column at the bottom. All right, there you go. Now scroll. Use your thing. You see?
Use my what?
Yeah, now you could scroll and your headers don't move, so we can follow along more easy.
Y'all can see the whole thing now?
Well, you can just scroll, my man.
No, how
So,
do
like,
I'm talking about left to right.
yeah, so keep going left. I mean, keep going right.
See, I couldn't scroll right to left on this when I have it in full screen like this. That's how I went down.
All right, so now just keep going right. There you go. You see? Now you can scroll and we can see the matchups.
Got you.
All right.
Appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, G Concepts. G Concepts, ladies and gentlemen. How about that guy? He's a stand-up guy. Hey, I'm glad you're on our side, Jason. So like I said, okay, MSP versus Santax 5-5. Point war very heavy. Whoever wins the point war is gonna have a nice advantage. Sentinel does have the ability to get one touch killed, so that's the only reason why I don't, and Sentinel doesn't have as many ways to just off Magneto. Okay, so Magnetostorm Cyclops. I love this team, and I feel it's the third best team in the game. And that is strictly off of theory. So there's nothing time tested, nothing proven yet. But like just how I envision the team that the way it can be played with the high level Magneto and Storm with the Gene Slice's fist. That's what I feel. It's okay if you guys disagree. I understand. You haven't seen it, and I don't blame you for disagreeing. And I'm not gonna say like that's what it is. But that's just how I feel about it. Magstorm Psych versus, we already did those two, versus Team Row Magneto first. No, I don't have Magstorm Cap up here. It's not used enough. I've seen Justin doing, yeah, but that's Justin. He does damage with everything. Magstorm Psych versus Team Row Mag first is a 7-3 fight. It's bust ass. Mag Psych really obliterates that team, and Storm Psych doesn't necessarily obliterate it, but it definitely freaking has an advantage also. Cable is nullified in that matchup, so he's not going to be too much of an option unless the other person messes up. So starting Magneto is a death wish against that team. Team Row set first, a little better, but Mag Psych fights Sentinel so well, and then Sentinel does not have the Commando assist, so I'm almost inclined to say Mag Psych might beat Sentinel without Commando. Yeah, I'm actually inclined to say that. I probably do feel Mag Psych beats Sentinel with any other assist besides Commando. MSS Rocket Punch. This matchup is almost as bad as Team Row, with the exception of Storm is not going to be completely nullified. She's much better than Cable, but there's no anti-air here, so that team pretty much gets mauled. If the beginning of the match plays the part, what's up, Voidness? The beginning of the match plays the part, so that can go in MSS's favor, but MSS has to be pretty clever to land an attack, because Gene Spice is gonna be offensive and defensive in this matchup, and MSS Rocket Punch is just gonna have to take a lot. This is a matchup heavily in Magnetostorm Cyclops' favor, so I have that as 6.5, 4.5. MSS Drones are pretty much the same weaknesses, with the exception of having a neutral assist, definitely makes the fight a little more tricky, because drones are disruptive, and when Gene Spice comes out, he tends to trade with the drones after his first hit, which is invincible. His first hit on Gene Spice is invincible. After that, it's not invincible, so he'll trade you. It's going to be hard to get a clean hit, but you're going to get a lot of opportunities, which is why it's still a tough fight. Team Scrub versus Magstorm Psych. I have that as a 5-5 match. The beginning of the match, obviously, heavily in Magneto's favor, but once you get away, Cable with those assists has the ability to deal with it. It's not free. It's not free for Cable to deal with it, but he has the ability to deal with it. And the way Gene Spice is, it can be a little inconsistent, so it can be challenging to hit Cable clean, especially if he has a decent grenade placement, right? If he does a Tiger grenade and pops it right in front of his face, and you dash in and call Gene Spice, or you try to bomb him, the grenade is going to interrupt you. Whereas if you had Cyblade, you can call Cyblade and he's falling to the ground, so you can combo him. So that's not a free combo with Magstorm Psych, so you got to work harder for it. Then you have Sent Cap on the team, so it's a good fight. It's a good fight. Team Scrub Sentinel first, 6-4. Magstorm Psych, like I said, Mag Psych does very good against Sentinel. Sent Cap is going to be challenging, but he can't get Cable in a match. He has to be very creative with it. Magneto gets a hit, a snapback is going to obliterate Team Scrub, and it's not too much that I have to say there. That we've seen how those matchups go, and I'm sure you Team Scrub players know what it's like to fight a good Magneto. Storm set Cable. That's gonna be a 5-5 matchup. Magnetostorm Psych is gonna have a slightly hard time just imposing will against the team, because it's a little different from Team Row, because she can run and she has the DAC and she has drones assist, so he has to work harder to catch her. But if he does catch her, I do think it's ball game. I think it's checkmate. Checkmate. Team Matrix, pretty much the same thing. It's gonna be another 5-5 matchup. The dynamics of the matchup are the same. I'm getting the MSS drones. I'm getting there. Witness, I got you. Matrix sent first. MSC definitely has the advantage, 6-4. For reasons that I've named about Sentinel without cap losing to Magneto Cyclops. Combo free Mag first. It's going to be another 6-4 matchup. Magneto has Typhoon assist, which works very well against Team Combo Fiend with both those assists. And remember, the Combo Fiend I'm talking about is Combo Fiend with the drones. And then you have Storm, which I said rains on it rains on Combo Fiend's parade. So set first, it's gonna be the same thing. There's an extra obstacle with the repulsor blast, but I think with proper Typhoon placement you can really neutralize that, so that's also in MSC's favor. Cyclops Cable first. MSC wins that. You have the beginning of the match, then you don't have Commando, and you only start the round with one level, and then like the point war is going to be heavy in that, which Mando has the advantage in the point war, so that's going to be a 6-4. Cyclops set first at 6.5, 3.5, heavily in MSC's favor for reasons that I've already said, with Sentinel without cap against Mag Psych, and then the fact you can't get Cable in a match and things like that. MSC versus Duck. So I don't know, because it seems as if Team Duck is supposed to be beating Magneto teams, right? But I'm pretty sure Duck will say like Magneto is actually not a free matchup for Spiral. Duck, how do you feel about this matchup? Magnetostorm Cyclops versus your team. I don't know too much. I have a question mark there, but I feel like it could be 5-5. I think MSC does. I think MSC can do better against Team Duck than MSP, because the angle that Gene Spice comes out, he can provide a wall for Magneto in terms of with the swords. Salak really. She really doesn't do too much to me in that matchup. I can't really see her being effective too much against Spiral unless she's in the air. But I feel the angle that Cyclops comes out at, I think it it can eat some more of the knives in a certain way, but I don't know, I could be wrong. I don't know how Duck feels about Magnetostorm Psych. Yeah, she does have to be careful against both teams. And I think Max, okay. Thank you, Duck. I feel that's 5-5. Set Strider Doom. Magnetostorm Psych has an advantage against that, because starting Sentinel is that's rough. I got Typhoon and Gene Spice against Sentinel with just Doom assist. That's bust ass. And getting that first hit means Strider can potentially get guard broken if he gets stabbed, and he cannot play. Starting Strider makes it a 5-5. I got to get away in the beginning of the match if I'm Strider. But we know what happens when the Strider does Fireball 2 punches against Magneto. He has a hard time in the neutral, so he can kind of get nullified in that matchup. So that's why I have that as a 5-5. Roundhouse's teams. Not enough info, but as you can see, those are the numbers I had there. And Iron Man, Sentinel, Cable. Iron Man on that team, I think, fights Magneto very well. But you know, they're both going after the same thing. It's pretty much a one-touch kill thing. So I have that as a 5-5 matchup because Iron Man has the tools to definitely deal with it. Iron Man set Cable. If they start Sentinel, it's gonna be a little rough because, like I said, I spoke about Mag Psych versus Sentinel Cap. And starting Cable on Iron Man, set Cable is bust ass for MSC 7-3. MSC versus MSP. I'm gonna say MSC loses 6-4 to MSP because the you know, the idea and the game plan is pretty much similar, but MSP is gonna benefit way more from it because of the ease of use of Psylocke in terms of combo ability. And it's, you know, if she hits, you're never gonna one hit recover. It's always gonna be a knockdown. She enables more double snaps. You get left right mix ups. So the Mag Psych is gonna have to play a very good Magneto. It's doable. It's not like, oh, it's a free matchup. No, it's doable. It's winnable. It's winnable, but it's just in favor of MSP by nature. Yeah, Raw. Let's talk about Team Row. Team Row, another one of my favorite teams. Okay, so Mag first. Like I said, Team Row, I'm going with the Rocket Punch. I'm not doing it for drones because I don't have enough information on that. MSP is 5-5 of everything. Either you do work or die early. Matchup chart done for MSP. That might be right. That might be right. Team Row, Magneto first again. Okay, we talked about those already. So we start from here. Team Row against Team Row. Pretty much a 5-5 matchup. But Team Row starts Sentinel. You know, the ideas are pretty similar. Not much to really talk about there. You know, I think in a point where whoever plays better is gonna win. I don't think anyone has the advantage there. Team Row versus MSS Rocket Punch. Team Row versus MSS Rocket Punch. That's 5-5. That's 5-5 because in totality, MSS in terms of the full team, MSS might have the slight advantage in terms of the full team, but in the point war, I think Team Row is favored, being that it has an anti-air, and I think Magneto wins the point war more often than none. And I think the proper strategy to fighting MSS Rocket Punch with Team Row, Magneto first, I believe when you get the hit, you snap Sentinel immediately. Sentinel is going to be the heart and soul of MSS. It's the comeback factor, it's the primary assist, it's the counter call. So if you can neutralize Sentinel, meaning you guard break his ass and you know, you snap him back and you guard break his ass so he doesn't get to play, MSS is going to go to shit. So it's like I said, that matchup is heavily reliant on a point war, in which I think Team Row does have the advantage for. It's reliant on a point war for Team Row. But if MSS beats the Magneto, it's probably ball game. You can run away. You can DAC Cable. It's a checkmate. So it's all in a point war, which is why I have it as 5-5. MSS drones. I think the drones is gonna have the advantage against Team Row Magneto first, because now, okay, you have an anti-air, but I have a better neutral assist with the drones. So now that your advantage is neutralized, now we go with the longevity of the rest of the two teams, in which that's in MSS's favor, because you have ways out the match. Cable can't get a match on Team Row unless you do some of the clever stuff. If you want to see ways to get Cable in a match on Team Row, hit me up. I'll gladly demonstrate. And just Cable has to deal with Storm running away and having a DEC. So Team Row Magford is gonna lose to MSS drones. Team Scrub Cable, that's bus ass. Team Row is designed to beat Team Scrub. That is the hard counter to Team Scrub. Team Row Magneto first is designed to defeat Team Scrub. Team Scrub finds ways to lose to Team Row. Yeah, we may see it. We may see it. Yeah, Scrub wins so far sometimes, but like I said, I'm talking on the highest level. So when I'm the type of Team Row I'm talking about is a good Magneto, a good Cable, and a good Sentinel. Now, one person that I feel has a complete Team Row is Sanford Kelly. At least when he used to play Magneto back in the day. We know how good his Cable and Sentinel are. His Magneto might be a little fluff right now, but I issued the challenge to anybody in the Marvel community. Anybody in the Marvel community, if you can beat Sanford's Team Row Magneto first with Team Scrub, if you can beat Sanford's Team Row with Magneto first with Team Scrub, any order you want, a 1st to 10, I will give you a free $100. And I'm taking all challenges. I don't think there is a Team Scrub on planet Earth that will beat Sanford Kelly's Team Row Mag first. I said it. I said it. I said it. There's too many ways for Team Row. Team Row, Magneto versus Cable. Then if you do lose Magneto, Cable comes with a bar. Cable, the other Cable's not gonna have bar shot. Then you got the Cable versus Sentinel match. You have longevity. There's too many ways that Team Row can beat this team, which is why I think that it's probably one of Team Scrub's worst matchups. Team Scrub Sentinel first, not gonna be too much different. I mean, it's a better fight. Hell yeah, it's a better fight, but you can't get Cable in a match, so that's a big thing. You got to deal with Magneto with the Rocket Punch and the Scimitar assist. If you get snapped back, you're done. If you get hit, you're done. If you kill Magneto, you're still dealing with Cable with bars. It's just still a bad fight. It's just a bad fight. Team Row Mag first against Storm sent Cable. So it's an interesting match, right? Storm definitely has the advantage against Magneto, 100% with the DAC. But the problem is when she DACs, Sentinel's coming in, and then Cable's coming in with bar. He is coming in with bar, which enables him to smoke Sentinel, and now you're back in the game. You're just back in the game like that. I have it at 5-5 because the beginning of the match is going to play a part in that. And then if Magneto hits Storm and kills her or snaps, I believe it's a checkmate, because I think that team is a godlike Storm team. It's probably like it might be her best team, you know, with the utility that she has, and those assists enable her to use all of her special moves. But without her on that team goes to shit, because she's so meter hungry, and you know, Cable on that team is not going to come in with bar. She's her primary SIS, so he might be bleeding. It's a little, you know. Team Row Mag first versus Team Matrix Storm first. I do think Matrix has an advantage against this. It's a little different from Storm sent Cable, because I do feel Sent Psych will fight Cable on Team Row better than Sent Cable. If Sent Psych gets him in the corner, it's not a bad fight at all. And then the Gene Spice enables Magneto to get DAC'd more often. So it's, you know, it's another way to eliminate the Magneto factor that Storm sent Cable doesn't necessarily have. So that's why I feel Matrix fights Team Row starting Magneto first a little better. Team Matrix sent first. That's a close one. I'll even accept 5-5 here, but I gave the slight edge to Team Row because Sent Psychic. It's the Sent Psych against the Magneto matchup. The Sent Psych has to play extremely well to not get hit by Magneto, a Magneto that knows how to weave through Cyclops. You know what I mean? I've played quite a few Magnetos that know how to, make Cyclops a non-factor. So you're gonna have to rely on your movement and spacing and hit timing with Sentinel, and not so much Cyclops to really play neutral. So it can be rather difficult, and that one hit can be a little detrimental. You know what I mean? And then Psych is not gonna kill. Psych is definitely not gonna kill Magneto. So like Magneto can take like 3 hits from Psych, 2 to 3 hits, but Psych can still find a way to lose that matchup. And then by him losing that matchup, now comes the guard break, or there's a or if he gets a hit, he gets a potential snap. So in terms of the point war, it's gonna be how good your Sentinel can weather that Magnetostorm. Obviously, if Sentinel does good against Magnetostorm, comes in against Cable, she can run from him. But it's just a lot of pressure on the point war, which is when you're dealing with Magneto, he's so dangerous that you want something that could kind of get him gone. You know what I mean? Like Magneto's dangerous anytime he's on the screen with, no matter how much life he has. And I'm not talking about the Magnetos that drop, because those are a godsend. You fight Magnetos that drop, oh good, I could take some risks. But the cutthroat Magnetos, those are deadly. Those are deadly. So you got to get him gone. Get him gone. All right. Combo Fiend Mag first against Team Row Mag first. Pretty even matchup in my opinion. Combo Fiend has the drones and a repulsor blast. I really don't think there's an advantage anywhere. I think it's pretty good fight. You got Iron Man, Cable. Whoever wins that point war is gonna have the advantage. You know what I mean? That's a pretty good fight. I like watching that fight, even though Josh 360 did body Mike Infinite. But Mike's Team Row is not complete. We know this. Combo Fiend sent first. I actually think it's the same thing. The fact that repulsor blast is there, that'll give Magneto, that'll make him have to think twice about just getting his ball on. So that's what kind of lets Sentinel be a little comfy in that matchup. He's straight to stupid. He's in full retard mode. All right, so Scrub Clops against Team Row, it's pretty much the same issues as Team Scrub. Scrub Clops just has to do a lot to win the full entirety of the matchup. Although I do feel Cable with the Cyclops does fight Magneto better than Cable with the Cap. You know what I mean? But you got to think about the matchup in its totality. So if I'm a Cable player and I'm fighting Magneto, I would definitely pick Scrub Clops over Team Scrub. Because Cable players, I know how you guys feel about fighting Magneto, especially when you put Cable on point. You know what I mean? So you need to get a reward for good defense and him, getting hit by your anti-air. Sent first, pretty much like I said, the same. It's gonna be the same structure as Team Scrub. So that's gonna be 6-4. Duck though, how do you feel about Team Row Magneto first? So I have it at 3.5, 6.5 in your team's favor, because you have one character on your team that beats 2 characters on Team Row. Spiral, when she gets away, she probably has the advantage against Magneto, although I could be wrong, and she definitely beats Cable. So that's 2 characters on Team Row that lose to 1 character. So tell me how you feel about that, Duck. Team Row starting Magneto against your team. Yeah, it's pretty bad, right? I know. It's pretty bad. Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I can see that. It's pretty bad. Okay, so Set Strider Doom against Team Row. I have that as a 5-5. I could be wrong on that. I'm not too sure. I don't see it often. I mean, the Scimitar Assist does do well. Yeah, Spyro can definitely get the lead against those two characters and keep it. I don't see this matchup too often, Team Row against Strider Doom, so I also have it as a 5-5, even starting Strider. Not going to talk about Roundhouse's teams, but I have them as 5-5s with, you know, with my question mark because I don't have the Iron Man set Cable. I do feel like Team Row is gonna be at a disadvantage against Iron Man on one point with that team because he has so much utility, and we know what happens when Iron Man wins a matchup into the next two characters. I will post this chart. I will post this chart. Like I said, this is just my opinion, and you know, it's not like, you know, the end all be all. It can change, you know, it's based on theory, so numbers can go up, numbers can go down, you know, it's just how I feel. I think 5-5 against starting Sentinel on that team, because like I said, I like Sentinel with the repulsive assist and the Scimitar. And then starting Cable, I think Team Row beats it. And let's look at MSP against Team Row Magneto first. All right, guys, let's just cut the crap and get down to brass tacks. MSP destroys that team. All right, G, I got you. Thanks. MSP bodies Team Row Magneto first. We know this. I'm sure when MSP players see a Team Row Magneto first, I'm sure they're licking their lips and fingers like the hyenas in a Lion King. You know what I mean? Like when they're in a freaking elephant graveyard. I'm sure you guys love that matchup. Love. Okay, Team Row Sentinel first. So I think what I like about Team Row is Team Row has two orders, and they're two legit orders. And I think where one order doesn't work, the other one can make it better. You know what I mean? So that's why I like Team Row so much, because not many teams have two. MSP doesn't even have two orders, but MSP is just that damn good. You know what I mean? So Team Row sent first. All right, so we start from right here. Team Row sent first against MSS Rocket Punch. I have MSS having a slight advantage. Slight, because I think in totality of the team. And I mean, that could even be 5-5. Damn, man. I really like Team Row was sent first fighting like Magneto teams without an anti-air. That can even be 5-5, but I'm thinking in totality, Cable is not really too much of an option against MSS because there's too many ways that Cable dies. So I'm thinking in totality of the team. I think the better matchup is starting Magneto. MSS Drones, I think is going to be definitely 6-4 in MSS Drones' favor, because now Mag Drones against Sent without you know, cap or anything like that, like it's gonna be tough. He can hoard the drones out. He takes the ground away, and Magneto's ground dash is so fast, so like he just ducks behind the drones real conveniently. So I think that's gonna be tough for Team Row Sentinel first. Team Scrub. So that's weird, right? I have it as 5-5. Obviously Cable smoke Sentinel, but you know, is it that free? You know, what he only has one level. Team Row does have the Scimitar assist. If Sentinel does well against that team, Team Scrub's gonna have all hell to break loose because of the structure of the team, you know. So Cable has to shoot Sentinel all the time pretty much, because the next Cable's gonna come in with bar, and then Team Row starting Sentinel has what I like to call the Magneto factor. Like I said, when Magneto's a whole nother character when he's coming in last, and you're fighting him without the full usage of all the utility that you might have, when he's on point. When you fight Magneto on point, you can structure teams around characters that lose to him so they can do well. But when you fight him later on, when he comes back to haunt you, that's when he's most deadly, because you might only have one assist. You know what I mean? So you might have an anti-air, so he has free reign to get in and free reign to take advantage of Sky, or you might have his assist in neutral where you can keep him at bay, but once he gets on you, now you got to take the dig. So the Magneto, again, Magneto makes some pretty awesome comebacks, and Magneto lasts with nothing to lose. When a Magneto's playing with a clear mind and nothing to lose, all of a sudden they godlike. They're not getting hit by assists. They blocking everything. They hit time and it's ridiculous. That's when they get unleashed, and that's when Magnus is the most scary, at least to me. When he's like coming in later on, and after you done like struggle fighting all the other stuff, you're so used to playing in some normal shit, and then Magneto comes in, and now it's like, oh shoot, like I can't really interact no more. Now I gotta play the cat and mouse, not get hit game. So it's a whole other story when he's coming in last like that. That's why I have that as 5-5. Scrub starting Sentinel against Team Row. So we know Set Cap definitely beats Team Row on that team, but in the totality of the matchup, like I said, Cable's going to come with bars both sides, but then we have the Magneto factor. You do something clever, or if you get a West Coast tag, that's a checkmate. Anything like that, it's a checkmate. So that's why I have that matchup as 5-5. Team Row against Storm sent Cable. I like this fight for Team Row. I love Sentinel with EM Disruptor against Storm. She's godlike with the runaway. She has drones, but he doesn't have to chase her. He can wear her down. He can lame her out. Team Rose Cable is going to come up with bars guaranteed. She has to use bars against Sentinel because she has to wear him down. He doesn't have to wear her down. If he lands that fucking unfly combo, it's checkmate. And like I said, guys, I will show you what combo you should be doing with Team Row if you have 2 bars and you land like a short in the air or something like that to guarantee. Thriller, your team is not up here because I haven't played it, nor have I played against it enough. So I don't know it, so I can't really formulate an opinion on it. That's the only reason it's not up here. Team Row versus Team Matrix Storm first, 5-5. So it's gonna play a lot like the Storm Set Cable match, but the Gene Spice assist works so much better versus Sentinel. But she still runs the risk of getting worn down. You know what I mean? And then Psych might have to deal with Cable with coming in with bars, and then you have the Magneto factor. But it's not a bad fight. It's a good fight for both sides, but the thing with Team Matrix is, it's a point heavy team where Storm has to do her part. So if you have anything that can enable her to not do her part, you'll have a good time against Team Matrix. Matrix sent first. That team beats Team Row sent first. Sent Psych against the Sentinel and Team Row is a actual favorable matchup for Sent Psych. And then you got Storm coming in next. Storm Psych against Cable is another favorable matchup. So that is definitely going to be in favor of Team Matrix. Sentinel first. Combo Fiend, Magneto first. And like I said, this is Combo Fiend with the drones. Combo Fiend with the drones. Mag Jones is gonna do good against Team Row Sentinel, so that's why I have it in the favor of Combo Fiend. And pretty much like we said, if Combo Fiend hits you, it's supposed to be a checkmate. Combo Fiend hits you, you're supposed to be done. Combo Fiend sent first. That's gonna be a 5-5 matchup. I don't think there's any distinct advantage there. Both teams have an anti, they're just different, so they have different utility. So that's pretty much a 5-5. Scrub Clops. Team Row's gonna lose that matchup. Cable Cable does a good job of smoking Sentinel on that team. And like I said, the Sent Psych versus Cable with Magneto assist is not going to be terrible. You can make the comeback, but then you still got Cable too. I think Cable can pretty much get away from that matchup without getting worn down. Meaning, like, Cable can probably win that matchup and still maintain like 70% of his health. That's how bad that matchup is. The father-son combination gives Sentinel hell, and then add on some drones with it too. Woof. Scrub Clops Sentinel first. That's gonna be a 5-5, only because Sent Psych does win the Sentinel fight, but it can still go down to the wire. That's neither one can really get Cable in a match, and then the longevity is just gonna go to Team Row. So it's almost they're structured very similar, but the longevity is gonna go to Team Row because Team Row has the Magnus factor, and we know what Magnus does towards the end of the games, or even if you sneak them in, you know what I mean? Like one counter in Magneto, that is a whole different matchup. So that's why I have that as 5-5. Team Duck, I don't know. Duck likes fighting Sentinel, so I had a 6-4 in Team Duck's favor. So, Duck, if you agree, let me know. I'll get Team Row starting Sentinel first. Sent Strider Doom, I have that as even. The Scimitar assist works good against Strider Doom. And Sentinel can pick up some pretty good damage. Starting Strider, I think it's the same, another 5-5 matchup. A lot of matchups with Strider Doom are going to be interesting because it's gonna, like I said, Strider Doom always has to play their best game. They can't really fall back on anything. So it's gonna come down to like just how well they're both playing. Rawhouse's teams, I have it as 5-5, no info there. Iron Man said Cable 5-5. I do want to see this team being played more. So yeah, I Duck. I do feel like Disruptor Assist does good too. I do, but only reason I had it slightly in that favor because like it's all on Sentinel. You know what I mean? I don't feel the other characters are gonna be too much use in that matchup. So Sentinel has to do well. But you're right. I can agree with that. The Iron Man set cables at 5-5. MSP Team Row against MSP. That is what's up, Locke. Locke, I'm glad you're here because I can ask your opinion on some things now. So this is gonna be an MSP's favor. It could be a 5-5. It could be, but I'm gonna say 4-6 in MSP's favor because it's MSP. MSP's too good. But listen, Team Row. If I'm a Team Row player, I'm gonna start Sentinel against MSP. Most definitely. Locke, how do you feel about your team versus Team Row Sentinel first? If you're still in the building, Locke. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. I think the cable assist does good against your team, Lock. So I wouldn't say like just flat out beat, but I can see that because Strider does beat Cable and has an advantage over Magneto. But you might have trouble in the Sentinel fight because of the Scimitar assist. All right. So we're at MSS Rocket Punch. MSS Rocket Punch. Oh, I know Locke got a lot of Team Row practice. Right, I got you, Lock. Okay. Um, MSS Rocket Punch versus MSS Jones. I feel MSS Jones has the advantage because of the neutral. They're the same team, but I think having an assistant neutral just opens more doors for the team. And then Storm is better on that team, so I'm gonna give the advantage to Jones. Rocket MSS Rocket Punch versus Team Scrub. Team Scrub loses that fight. Cable loses to Magneto and Storm on that team. You have the counter call. Cable's gonna. It's not as bad as Team Row because MSS doesn't have anti-air, so Cable can play better against Magneto, and Cable definitely has the tools to beat Magneto. But it's still tough because Cable loses to 2 characters on that team. But if you do beat Magneto and you can get Sentinel in there, you're not bad, but you still got to worry about her having the DAC. MSS. All right, Team Scrub starting Sentinel against MSS. That's a bad fight in my opinion. For Team Scrub, but it's not horrible. Set cap doesn't necessarily lose it, but you gotta play your ass off. You know, you gotta play ass. That counter call, the Typhoon assist, and a 1-touch. If Team Scrub gets touched in any way and snap back, it's done. It can't get out the match. You know what I mean? So I still have that in favor of MSS. MSS against Storm Set Cable. MSS loses to Storm Sentinel Cable. The exception is in the beginning of the match, but MSS loses to Storm Sentinel Cable. That team gives Magneto hell. That Scimitar sends his ass to the sky, makes him start over every time. And Storm is a goddess on that team. A goddess. So I think she wins the point war more than one. I mean, more than none. And with Sentinel with the Cable assist playing lame against Storm, where he doesn't have to necessarily overextend, is not a bad fight. So I have that in favor of Storm State Cable. Team Matrix against MSS. Matrix beats that team also. Matrix can not only run from the team, but Matrix can rush it down, and Matrix has a numerous amount of ways to hit Magneto and hit him with the DAC. Dog Hugger, what's going on? And Psych is not at a disadvantage in that matchup against Storm Rocket Punch with the DAC. So Team Matrix definitely beats MSS. Team Matrix Sentinel first is gonna be 5-5 because of the Magneto matchup against Sentinel. The fact that, you know, Gene Splice is inconsistent. This is what I always say about Gene Splice versus the other top tier assists. If you look at Commando, if you look at Cyblade, if you look at Scimitar, right? Commando hits you, what's gonna happen? You're always gonna lose life, right? However much damage it does, you're always gonna lose that amount of life, and you know it's always gonna pop you up. Cyblade hits you, what's gonna happen? You are always going to free fall to the ground. Always. If Cable hits you, you're always gonna go to the sky. So those assists are always gonna do what their purpose is. But when Gene Spice hits you, you know, sometimes you're gonna get 2 hits, sometimes you're gonna get 3, sometimes you'll get 1, sometimes they'll flip out. So he doesn't always do what he's supposed to do, and when he doesn't, it usually puts the opponent at an advantage because they get to come down with some buttons. So the fact that it's inconsistent means that Mag can get away with some shit against it, because if Gene Spice hits him at the tip and then he flips out, then you go for a combo, but oh, guess what? He recovered too fast. Boom, boom. Now he's hitting buttons. Now you in a rock because he mashed short, and his air short is 2 frames, so it's gonna beat out anything you do. So like the inconsistency of the assist is what's gonna make that a hard fight, but it's still a 5-5 matchup because the fact that MSS has no anti-air, Sentinel gets to go for mix-ups and take advantage of Typhoon things, and you know he gets to attempt some shit safely, so it's not bad. But if the Magneto's moving, it's gonna be hard to lock him down. Like if you're fighting Yipes' Magneto and MSS, it's gonna be hard to lock him down because his movement is that crazy. MSS Rocket Punch against Combo Fiend, Drones. I think that matchup is another dead even matchup. Another dead even matchup. Like like I said, I like the Mag Drones against the Mag Rocket Punch, but Storm definitely does her thing against Combo Fiend. Combo Fiend starting Sentinel. I think it's another 5-5 matchup because I like the way the Repulsor Blast covers Sentinel's ass when he's especially against Magneto. Roundhouse takes advantage of it a lot. You know, he can get away with doing YOLO moves like jump back roundhouse with the Repulsor Blast. You know what I mean? So I think Sentinel can contend with Magneto there. Scrub Clops versus MSS. So this matchup is a 5-5 hard. What does that mean? What does that mean, 5-5 hard? So, and the hard is on the right side because the hard part is for Scrub Clops. So this is a 5-5 matchup, but Scrub Clops has to you got to play good. It's not a bad fight for a Cable at all because Mag does not have an anti-air, so you can get away with like call drones and jump roundhouse on MSS a lot. Good grenade placement is going to give it a hard time, and the Gene Splice is going to alley-oop if it hits and you get to shoot. But the only thing is you have to block a little with Cable. So, you know, it's going to be a 5-5 hard, but it's a 5-5. And then the rest, you know, just going through the rest of the team, you know, Psych is going to do good without the anti-air on MSS. Jump roundhouse. Cable's jump roundhouse. You can neutral jump roundhouse on MSS a lot. Like you can call drones and neutral jump roundhouse and then like do jump rounds, viper beams. You can get away with that stuff because he has no side blade to pluck you out the sky. You know, you're Cable, so you can use your normals against Magneto. Right. You can't do that when Magneto has an anti-air to risk. But normal jump roundhouse, calling drones normal jump roundhouse is pretty good because you get to like the drones will interrupt him if he tries to ram you if you do it right. You can't do that against MS. No. Sideblade too nosy. She's nosy. Scrub Plops Sentinel first. MSS has that advantage. Totality of the team. You know, Storm said the AC, forcing bad matchup with the Storm Cable matchup, and then like, you know, we spoke about Magneto versus Sent Psych. It's not horrible, but it's in Magneto's favor. Duck. So I have 5-5 here, Duck. I feel like your team is supposed to beat MSS, but does it really? Because Mag and Storm both beat Cable, kinda. It's easy kills. Yo, Rob, this might be a two-parter, Rob. This might be a two-parter. My Long Island IC is already empty. Duck Doe, if you're still in here, tell me how you feel about your team against MSS Rocket Punch. But I say it's 5-5 because of how well Chaos does in a matchup, but that could just be attributed to him. But I don't know. No, this might be a two-parter, guys, if it gets too long. It might be a two-parter. If you guys really want me to go through this whole thing in one night, I will do it for you. Right. I agree with that, Doc. That is the hard part. You have to block. You have to block. Okay. Yeah, so it is all down to blocking. It is. Lockdown. Talk to me about your team. I feel your team beats MSS Lock. What's up, Nickville? You said make it a part 2? I can do that. Yeah. I can do that. I can definitely do that. Right, Rock. I agree. I also think starting Strider, I think it's the same thing. I think your team does. Oh, we're speaking on the highest level, Thriller. You came a little late. I explained what I base my theories off of and everything like that. Not just the highest level, but me playing with like the three best players and watching how they use multiple teams and stuff like that. Okay. Roundhouse's team I'm not gonna comment on because I don't know, but I have them as 5/5s. Iron Man sent Cable. Yo, so this is crazy. I feel Iron Man sent Cable beats MSS. I think the Iron Man Magneto matchup is in Iron Man's favor when he has drones and Scimitar. Magneto does not have an anti-air. I think that's a hard matchup for Magneto. I think he has to deal with the smart bombs and the drones, and he got to worry about getting hit by cable assist. So I do think that team beats MSS because let's face it, when you got Iron Man on point, winning that point war usually nets you at least the second character. It's at least a 200% usually. And he builds a lot of bar. Yes, he does. Starting Sentinel on Iron Man sent Cable. Starting Sentinel, I think it's even because that's just a better matchup for Magneto. And starting Cable, I definitely think MSS is gonna beat that. So MSS Rocket Punch versus MSP. That's a 7-3. That's a 7-3 matchup. Excuse me. A 3-7. Yeah. That's a 3-7. MSP beats that team. I think you can use whatever strategy you want, but in general, I think if I'm a Magneto player fighting against MSS, I'm gonna always snap in Sentinel, and I'm just not gonna deal with the potential comeback factor because that's what causes the comeback factor, and that's Sentinel. But MSP just has its way with damn, yo MSP hard counter some teams, yo MSP. Oh, this team is godlike. Sheesh. MSP. Yo, if you can't block, you're gonna lose to MSP. Holy shit. Your nooch better be OD. MSP is annoying, man. I know. Okay. So now, Voidness, here you go. Let's get to MSS drones. Drones. You know what though? I don't know why this computer is known as second monitor. I don't know why that got switched. Anyway, so where we at? Okay, so we start from here. No AA, but you got a neutral assist. You got teams, characters, 3. So you have longevity on your side. You got safe DACs. You got ways out the match. You got 100% all around the board. Okay, so MSS Jones against Team Scrub. That's gonna be in MSS's favor. We know why. We stated it before. Magnetostorm, 2 characters that beat Cable. Oh gosh. You have ways to hit Cable, and you can grab him into an assist. You have 2 characters that beat Cable, and if you Team Scrub loses to Snapback, so you don't even have to hit Cable and kill Cable. You just have to be clever in one situation to snap him back, and then that team goes to shit. That team goes to shit. Your Magneto got to be on. Your Magneto got to be on point though. Team Scrub is gonna have a hard time with MSS in general. It's not horrible. It's 6-4. Team Scrubs Sentinel first. Oh, I think MSS Drones obliterates this team. I think it does. It obliterates this team. Can't get Cable in the match. Can't get Sentinel out the match. You have Magneto with the drones, covers his neutral against Set Cap. It's not a bad fight for Set Cap, but it's difficult. You have grab into drones. It's a thing. Magneto gets up close. You know, you want to block. You have to kind of respect him, but then he's grabbing you. Not going to be used to shit like that. People got to start doing that more often. You have longevity. You got safe DAC, Storm with the DAC, Storm with the drones. Yep. And Mashash. MSS still loses to Storm Sentinel Cable, but it's a little better because you have the drones assist and you have neutral, but it still loses. It's for the same reasons. MSS still loses to Team Matrix. The drones don't make too much of a difference in that matchup because, she still has the drones also, so they kind of cancel each other out. She could take advantage of skies. She has Typhoon Hails. Pretty much the same as Storm Set Cable, but that added Gene Splice makes up for it too. MSS against Matrix Sentinel first. MSS wins that. We know this because we know about how Mag Drones does so well against Sentinel, especially no cap. And now the strength of Team Matrix is the DAC and the ability to get it off, and now that is nullified because we're putting Sentinel on point. Combo Fiend, Mag first with the drones. 5-5. Even matchup. Whoever the better Magneto is, that seems usually gonna win. 5-5. Combo Fiend is pretty fucking good. Combo Fiend Sentinel first. Slight advantage to MSS drones because of the drones. It's smother happy. Scrub Clops. It's another 5-5 hard. 5-5 hard. So the drones gives you some neutral, but then you don't have to worry about short, which is a thing. And Gene Splice will do much better than Commando in this situation in general, because it's another layer from to worry about. So that's another 5-5 hard, because you do have to block and you got to be careful about good Typhoon calling. Scrub Clops Sentinel first. That is definitely a matchup in MSS Drones' favor. Not much to say there. I've stated it with Team Matrix and everything. Duck spoke about this already. Lockdown spoke about these already. We're not talking Roundhouse. So, like I said, I do feel Iron Man Sentinel Cable still beats MSS, even with the drones. 5.5 though. But Iron Man with those tools can be pretty annoying for Magneto to fight against. Starting Sentinel, it could be a 5-5. I'm not too sure. But like I said, I like Sentinel having Cable and a Repulsor Blast. See, the thing with that team, with Sentinel having Cable and Repulsor Blast, especially if you're in the sky, you have to guess which one he's going to call. You know what I mean? Like, he could call Cable, which is fast. But then, if he could call freaking Iron Man, which covers more distance and stuff like that. So, I think that team is really good. I don't know. I just do. I do. Starting Cable. Anything starting Cable against a Magnetostorm team most likely is gonna be at a disadvantage. Oof, it's a lot of teams here. It is a lot of teams here. Maybe I'll stop after Matrix. I'll go to 13 and then I'll do the rest tomorrow. And then I'll show you guys what combo you should be doing. with Team Row if you get the hit. Oh, I can finish, Lock. I can finish, but I just don't want to lull you guys to sleep. You know what I mean? I want to keep you guys fresh. I want it to stay interesting for you guys, for those who are interested. All right, let's go. Grub. Where am I at? Okay. Boom. Bang bang. No. I'm in the wrong spot. Yeah. Boom. No, I was right. Okay. So Team Scrub Cable first versus Team Scrub Sent first. I got the advantage with Team Scrub Cable first because Sentinel has to work so hard in that matchup. Can't get out the match, and then Cable, if Scrub Sent first loses Sentinel, Cable's only gonna have one assist. You know what I mean? And it's fightable. Cable Cap alone is easier to deal with Sent Cap than like Cable drones or something like that. You know what I mean? It's easier to deal with him when he just has Commando. So 6-4. Cable Sentinel Commando versus Storm Sent Cable. Storm Sent Cable beats Team Scrub starting Cable. Storm Sent Cable beats Team Scrub starting Cable. The Scimitar assist creates the one-on-one, which Storm beats Cable one-on-one. Cable has to worry about the DAC, and then you still have Cable on the team also if all else fails. So Storm Sent Cable is Team's Characters 3. I think Ironic Seam is very viable. You need good assist calling, and you need a good Storm, and which he does have a good Storm. And you have to be optimal with her because you're not going to have the DAC, so people are going to play a little more reckless against you, and they're going to take risks. So I do think his team is viable. I think starting Cable though, it's tough to start Storm because you can't really get him in, but he makes it work. He definitely makes it work. Oof, my goodness. Okay, so Team Scrub versus Matrix is a hard 5-5 for it's 5-5, but it's a hard 5-5. So, Scrub has to block. Scrub does have to block, but with those assists, Cable has everything he needs to deal with Storm, especially Storm. Like, I feel like that team is designed for Cable to fight Storm, drones and Commando. So Storm can definitely do some dirt, and she can get the DAC off and get rid of him. But then you still gotta fight you're gonna DAC Cable. Then you still have to fight Sent Cap with Sent Psych, which is rough, and it enables Sentinel to make comebacks because Cyclops is coming in next, and Cyclops is not a good fight for Sent Cap. So it's like you have two characters on that team that lose a Sent Cap, and then you have two characters on that team that get shot. So it's a 5-5 because Storm can get rid of Cable, but it's a hard 5-5. It's a hard 5-5. And actually, there was a great set with Yipes and Sanford. We can watch that if you guys want after this too. I wouldn't mind watching some footage where Yipes had Matrix and Sanford had Scrub with Cable on point, and it was all. Yipes won the set. Obviously Yipes is a little better, but Sanford did hold his own. If you guys want, we could watch that. Oh gosh. So Team Matrix Sent first against Team Scrub with Cable on point is bus ass. Bus ass. Sent Psych does not beat no Cable on Team Scrub at all. At all. That's probably one of the toughest matchups in the game. That matchup is bus ass. Bus ass. That's an 8-2 fight. Then Storm is gonna come in and she's gonna have to deal with Set Cap without a DC. Team Scrub against Combo Friend. So that is a hard 5-5 for Scrub because Cable has to deal with Magneto on that team, and Magneto can definitely do his thing. But I do feel that team has some problems with Cable because Iron Man, it's weird, right? Iron Man gets shot, but then again, he fights Cable by going to the top of the screen and raining smart bombs all day. But if he doesn't have a lead and doing that is not productive, then what's he gonna do, right? So if Cable manages to shoot Magneto, that team is at a disadvantage. That's why I said it's a hard 5-5. But Scrub can hold his own to get that against that. Team Scrub against Combo Fiend starting. Sentinel is bus ass. 7-3. Loses. Bus ass. Sentinel gets fucking shot. He is getting smoked on that team. He can't do shit. He gotta be real clever. And then Iron Man gotta deal with Set Cap or potentially Cable, because Cable's probably gonna have like at least 70% health in that matchup. So Cable, Team Scrub against Scrub Clops. It's gonna be edged out to Team Scrub because of the totality of the matchup. You know, you still have to deal with that Set Cap versus Set Psych matchup, which is just rough. That matchup is just rough. Scrub Clop starting Sentinel. It's much more the same. Much more the same. You know, Sentinel's gonna get shot. Cable's gonna come up with some bar though. But you know, it's Set Cap. And he's coming to bar against Set Cap, but he's still gotta watch how he calls assists sometimes, and Set Cap can get on top of his head and make it a little difficult. You know what I mean? Set Cap can hold its own. Cable's most likely gonna smoke Sentinel free, so even though Set Cap is in there, gets shot, Cable's still gonna be coming back in later on and get some more shots off. Oh, Team Scrub versus Team Duck. I think Duck's team owns Team Scrub starting Cable. I don't think Cable. I don't see how starting Cable against Duck's team it can win like that. I just don't see it. She can teleport out of hyper on reaction. That's OD. That is just completely taking away Cable's whole game. So she can do whatever she wants. If he tries to hyper punish her, she's out of there. Out. She's out. So I have that 7-3 in Duck's favor. Ooh. So Lockdown, you still in here? So Team Scrub against Sent Strider Doom. I have that in Scrub's favor with the Cable on point, because Sent Doom against Cable is fucked up. It's fucked up. Now Strider can do his part, but then like Strider has to do everything. Strider, because there's two characters on your team that get shot, Doom and Sentinel. So Strider has to take out Cable, and then Set Cap can still do some dirt. So I think that's gonna be a hard fight for your team. But let me know if you disagree, Lock. You know, if you're in here still. Yeah, I think so. But I do feel if you start Strider, I think it's in your favor, because now Strider only has to deal with Cable, and then Sent Doom can fight Set Cap. Sent Doom doesn't necessarily beat it, but it's a good fight. You know what I mean? If you get on top of him, you can smother him with Doom Assist and get your rocks off. Right. Okay. Cool. Roundhouse's teams. Bong. Iron Man sent Cable. So I think this is a 5-5 matchup against Scrub, only because I think about the totality of the team, right? Cable is on the team also. Iron Man is a mean battery. And if you watch the way Thriller fights Cables, he really knows how to lame Cable out. He will go to the top of the screen, rain smart bombs, and annoy him all day. So you know he knows how to he knows how to make Cable uncomfortable also. And then one hits ball game. You have counter hyper on your side. I like this fight for Iron Man Sent Cable. I don't think it loses. I think it's a 5-5. Starting Sentinel, I think it loses, absolutely. And starting Cable, I put 5-5 with a question mark because I mean, I don't know. Oh, I forgot to do MSS drones against MSP, right? I damn sure did. How could I forget about that? I'm sorry, Voidness. So oh man, so this is gonna be weird. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. All right. Okay. Ah. Oof. I'm gonna say I'm so inclined. I'm so inclined to because Drones has a lot of the same matchups as Rocket Punch in term and me explaining Rocket Punch, you know, that the strategy is pretty much is gonna be mostly the same in the matchups. I think MSS Jones is better than MSS Rocket Punch. Oof. All right. MSS Jones against MSP. Oof. I want to say it's going to be 4.5, 5.5 in MSP's favor. So the reason being, I think the fact that they have Psylocke, I think the fact you having drones makes it makes up for you not having an anti-air because now you have an advantage in neutral. So in neutral, you can play a nice little wear down, maybe a little keep away game, maybe a little setup game. You can try to attack in ways where like they're not gonna be able to get a clean hit on you, possibly. Storm is gonna have drones, so Storm drones against Storm Psy is not too bad. You're not gonna just get mauled. And with that combo that Ken does in the corner when he side switches with Magneto and tags, I think that changed the matchup. You know what I mean? Because you can run that loop and freaking get rid of Psylocke. Team Scrub. Team Scrub against MSP. Y'all gonna hate me for this one. I think it's 5-5. I think it's 5-5. I think Cable on Team Scrub has everything he needs to deal with MSP. And like Duck said, if you can block, yeah, if you can block, it's not gonna be a bad fight. I'll put a hard 5-5 because when you're fighting MSP with Team Scrub, you're only really worried about the Magneto part. You're only gonna be worried about the Magneto part. You're not worried about the Storm side too much because she has to do a lot to beat Team Scrub. I mean, you got to worry about the beginning of the match. That changes it. No, you can't block everything, but with that team, you don't have to block everything. You don't have to be in those situations to block everything. You have neutral. You have to get. He has to get in. MSP still has to work hard to get in on that, and you can bunny hop and call cap like. It's not as easy as it seems. It's not. Right. So yeah, one or two key blocks. Yeah, you know what I mean? One or two key blocks. Um I'm gonna do Team Scrub, and then I'm gonna cut it and finish the rest tomorrow, and we're gonna go jump to watch some footage. We're gonna watch some footage. Okay, so Team Scrub sent first. Okay, so here we go. Team Scrub sent first. No, yeah, the getting hit factor is that's the factor, Lock. You get hit if you get hit, but the thing is, Cable has the tools he needs to fight Magneto. He can damage his assists. He can take big damage. It's not going to take 3 hypers to kill Magneto if you get the right combo. Magneto could potentially be losing life trying to get in. You know what I mean? Like with drones and Cap, he has the tools to fight him. He does. Magneto got to worry about some random scimitars, something like it's a lot of cat and mouse, and it's a lot of situational guessing. But if you make the correct reads with Cable on Team Scrub, if you kill Magneto with Cable on Team Scrub, I'm almost inclined to say MSP is done. You have to snap Cap. You have to kill him. You have to do that. So okay, so Scrub Sentinel first against Storm. Say Cable's 5-5. The Sentinel part makes it more doable. Still can't get Cable in the match, but then she doesn't just get free reign as if she does like against Cable. Okay, Sentinel on Team Scrub against Team Matrix starting Storm. That's a 7-3 matchup for Team Matrix. All right. Once again, Matrix is heavily reliant on Storm doing her part. Set Cap can neutralize her, if not nullify her. And then Set Psych has to deal with Cable coming in with bar. Or if Sentinel even has like 40%, the Set Psych Set Cap matchup is still that bad. So that's a 7-3 matchup. That's not really nothing to talk about right there. Same thing if Matrix starts Sentinel first. That Sentinel fight is just that bad, where like too much pressure's on Storm. Too much pressure. She has to do her part. Combo Fiend Magneto first against Team Scrub Sentinel first. That is 6-4 in favor of Combo Fiend. We already spoke about Mag Jones against Set Cap. And then the rest of the team, like, even if Cable comes up with just Commando, it's not 2 assists, so Iron Man can still kind of fight him. It's not a free shot. It's a free shot. Shout out to Random James. Combo Fiend Sentinel first against Team Scrub. That's bust ass. I think Team Scrub obliterates it in that order. Set Cap beats Combo Fiend Sentinel. Then Cable's coming over bars, and he's going to have a lead, which changes the situation. When he has a lead, then Iron Man has to come forward and has to go get money. Versus Scrub Clops, pretty even fight. Scrub Clops has the advantage with the Cable on point, but then the next Cable's going to come over bars, and then you have Commando assists also, so it's pretty even fight. Scrub Clops Sentinel first definitely loses. Set Cap Sense like fight, it is what it is. Team Duck against Team Scrub Sent first. I don't know about that. I feel Duck has the advantage. So, like I said, I feel like Team Scrub has to work too hard to win that matchup in its entirety. Duck's Cable is going to come in with bars. I think it's just a rough one. I could be wrong. Okay, so Cable on Team Scrub. Sentinel on point on Team Scrub against Sent Strider Doom. I think it's going to be an even fight. Lockdown, let me know how you feel about this matchup. I think the point war the point war might be in Sentinel's favor, because not because of the Cap, but because he has the Scimitar assist. And the Scimitar assist is more useful in that matchup than a Commando assist when he's like up close and smothering you. And then Strider probably has the advantage in the Strider vs. Cable matchup, but Cable's going to come with bars, and then you have that human element that comes into play, so that can be another factor there. But I think that matchup is going to come down to like who's playing better. I think set cable combination is a good pick against Strider Doom. Storm. I mean, excuse me, not Storm. Strider, Sentinel Doom. I think it's another. I think it's 5-5. Same thing like the other one. I could be wrong. It could. Yeah, I can see how it's slightly in Strum's favor. Lock. I can agree. I can agree. Yeah, I can definitely agree. Starting Strider. I feel like it's still a 5-5 matchup, but I don't know. Let me know how you feel about it, Lock. Because now you're forcing that actually Team Scrub might beat that. That might be in Scrub's favor. Team Scrub Sentinel first versus Strider on point. Oh, these are Roundhouse's teams. I do think it goes 5-5 against Iron Man Sent Cable. Yeah, Sentinel can wear him down. Starting Sentinel, I think is gonna be in favor of Team Scrub. And then versus Cable on point, I said maybe it's 5-5. That's not a matchup I've seen. So Team Scrub Sentinel first against MSP. That's a 5-5. It's gonna come down to who wins that point war. Cable coming in with bars. Storm side she's not gonna just obliterate him. It comes down to Sent Cap versus Max High. You don't gotta worry about the beginning of the match. You have two anti-airs, so it's a 5-5 to me. I don't think it's that bad. Whatever. Okay, guys. So we are gonna leave off right there. We are up to 11. Storm Sentinel Cable. So I'm definitely gonna continue that tomorrow. But in the meantime, between time. Oh yeah, that was Bruce. In the meantime, I finished my Long Island. As promised, we will watch some footage. Oh, chill. You can't have that Go Ranger staff.
The fucking shit.
Yo, thank you so much, Dog Hugger. Thank you so much for the subscription. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Oh yeah, here's the set here. Oh, IFC yipes. This guy is freaking ridiculous. Okay, so I wonder why. Hold on, let me see something real quick, guys. Gold Rangers, yo. Gold Ranger, Shadow Ranger, and Red Ranger. Daishi Golden Zed with Goldar Zor. He said Trinidad James. Wow. All right, guys. So this was a set between Yipes and Sanford. Yipes playing Matrix and Sanford playing Team Scrub. Damn, I know you see. I don't know what happened, right? This is not the monitor that is supposed to be on. I don't know why my second monitor scene got switched to my first monitor. So this was like before they didn't actually start the set yet. I do want to full screen it. Hold on one sec. I gotta fix this. I'm sorry. Hold on, guys. Give me 1 sec.